Illumination. He had been wandering through the forest for about an hour when he began to lose his sense of direction. Where is this cave? Damn it! My colleagues explain it so clearly. He looked down at the map. If I'm reading this right... Wait, was it this way or the other way? He frowned. What on earth did they even scribble here? He couldn't make sense of it anymore. Then the rain started. At first, just a few drops, then more. Soon the paper in his hand was soaked. The ink began to bleed, dissolving into meaningless stains. Annoyed, he crumpled the map and tossed it aside. He stepped under the nearest tree, hoping for a little shelter. His name was Walter, an absent-minded philosophy professor. His colleagues had sent him out here on what they called a scavenger hunt, a preparation, they said, for a revelation. But they had told him nothing more. The rain grew heavier. Should I have turned left back there? Or right? Am I even on the right path? Exhausted, he sank down onto the wet ground just to rest for a moment. Then a sound, a faint, rhythmic squeaking, a wheel turning. Walter froze. Someone's there. The sound carried strangely through the forest, winding its way between the trees like a voice trying to reach him. He stood up slowly and followed it. Step by step, it grew louder, clearer, and then he saw it. A dim lamp flickering in a clearing, and beside it, a figure. Thin, gaunt, dressed in blue overalls, pushing a wheelbarrow. Walter narrowed his eyes. I know him. Isn't this Gustav? No response. He stepped closer. The man didn't react, not even a glance. His face was pale, drenched in sweat. His expression strained, restless, as if he were pushing himself far beyond exhaustion. "Hello?" Walter called. "What are you doing here?" Nothing. Walter reached out, placing a hand on his shoulder. The man shrugged it off instantly, not aggressively, just mechanically, like brushing away dust. And he kept walking. Walter stood there, stunned. That was his colleague from the university. So what was happening here? The man tipped the wheelbarrow and emptied its contents. Stones, just ordinary stones, piled together. Walter stared. What is he doing? No answer. Then the man turned and began heading back into the cave. Walter looked up. The entrance loomed behind him, and something felt wrong. There was light outside from the lamp, but inside, nothing. Pure darkness. He stepped closer. The pile of stones shimmered faintly, not brightly, not enough to illuminate the space, but enough to catch the eye. In a natural glimmer. Behind him, the man returned with another load. "Don't you need a light?" Walter asked. A faint shrug. Nothing more. "He noticed me," Walter whispered. "Finally." Determined, Walter followed him into the cave. Just a few steps inside. He stumbled, fell hard against the ground. Pain shot through his knee. He pushed himself up, confused. What is going on? How could the man move so easily in total darkness? Walter couldn't even see his own hand. It reminded him briefly of Plato's cave. But this was something else. He made a decision. He pressed one hand against the cave wall and waited. When the man passed again, water moved with him. Slowly, carefully, he reached out and touched the side of the wheelbarrow, using it as a guide. It worked. The man didn't react, and water followed him deeper into the dark. His breath grew uneven. The air became heavy, still, hard to breathe, but the ground was steady, and somehow he kept going. "I have to see," he whispered. "I have to know where those stones come from." Then something changed. At first, just a faint outline, a suggestion of form. Then more. His eyes began to adjust, or perhaps something else was happening. The stones, they were glowing. Not brightly, but enough to reveal shapes, edges, contours. The wheelbarrow stopped. So did water. The man walked past him again, as if he wasn't there. Then, suddenly, he turned, reached out, and placed a single stone into Walter's hand. Walter froze. The stone was warm, almost alive. His heart began to race, but it wasn't the stone that unsettled him most. It was his vision. The darkness was changing. Slowly, the cave revealed itself. Shapes emerged. The flickering intensified. The space unfolded. "Illumination," he whispered. A small sphere of light seemed to form around him. He could see. He turned. The man was there, crouched by the stones, rising slowly, like something not entirely human. Their eyes met, and in that moment, the figure dissolved, its form scattered, gone. Walter gasped. A scream tore from his throat and faded into silence. Then stillness. He stood there, alone. And then he moved. Slowly, mechanically, he stepped towards the stones, picked one up, then another. He began to work. The memory of the man faded. Then his name. Whoa. Then everything. No past. No self. No question. Only the task remained. Carry the stones. Bring them outside. Unload them. He knew this, and nothing else mattered. Enlightened in the truest sense of the word. The circle is complete.